Every day, in homes around the world, the exact same scene plays out. A cat approaches a food bowl and begins screaming. Not a normal meow, a full-scale emergency alert. So naturally, the human responds. Food is served immediately. The bowl is filled. And then, the cat walks over, sniffs the food, and leaves. No eating. No explanation. Just emotional destruction. And if you own a cat, you already know this isn't unusual. It happens constantly. Which raises an unexpectedly difficult question. If the cat wasn't hungry, then what exactly was the screaming for? Because according to veterinarians, animal behaviorists, and millions of exhausted cat owners, this may not actually be about food. It could be about smell, routine, attention, behavioral conditioning, or possibly something much darker. So to understand what's really happening here, Cat Judge launched a full investigation. We analyzed feeding behavior, collected owner testimony, reviewed veterinary explanations, and monitored several highly suspicious individuals, most of whom refused to cooperate. This is the story of how domesticated cats may have accidentally trained humans to obey tiny emotional terrorists. Today, we investigate one of the internet's most ancient feline mysteries of all time.
Why?
At first glance, the behavior makes no sense. If a cat is hungry, why reject the food? Was the emergency fake? Was the screaming performative? Or are humans fundamentally misunderstanding what cats actually want? Because once researchers started examining the pattern more closely, a strange detail kept appearing. The screaming often stopped before the food was even served. And that changes the entire investigation. The first major theory focused on something humans barely notice: freshness. Cats experience food very differently than humans do. Humans rely heavily on sight, but cats rely heavily on smell. And their sense of smell is dramatically stronger than ours. Which means the moment wet food begins drying out, oxidizing, or changing temperature, cats notice immediately. To humans, the food seems completely fine. To cats, it may smell like ancient seafood recovered from the ocean floor. And suddenly, a common household ritual starts making more sense. The cat screams, the human adds fresh food, the cat becomes interested again. Not because the cat was starving, but because the smell changed. In other words, the bowl wasn't empty enough. It simply wasn't fresh enough. Which means millions of humans may currently be employed as unpaid restaurant staff for animals that lick their own elbows.
That explains a lot. My cat refuses food that's been sitting out for 10 minutes. But if I shake the bowl slightly, suddenly it becomes acceptable again.
So the food itself never changed?
No. I basically performed culinary theater.
But then the investigation uncovered something stranger. Many cats stopped screaming. The the moment a human entered the room, even before food appeared. And this pattern showed up everywhere. In apartment buildings, in suburban homes, at 4 a.m., which raised a deeply uncomfortable possibility. What if the food bowl was never the real objective? Because cats are extremely good at discovering systems, they quickly learn which actions produce reliable human responses. And once a behavior works, they repeat it relentlessly. So, if screaming near a food bowl causes a human to appear instantly, the behavior becomes reinforced again and again and again. At that point, the bowl stops being a food container. It becomes a summon button. And honestly, this explains a lot. Why cats often appear satisfied the moment someone acknowledges them. Why they sometimes walk away immediately after food arrives. And why many owners eventually develop the same defeated facial expression. Because at some point, it stops feeling accidental. So when did you first realize that the screaming might not actually be about food?
The third refill. That's when I knew something was wrong.
What happened?
She screamed like she was experiencing a national emergency. So I filled the bowl. She sniffed it and walked away.
She didn't eat?
No. She just wanted me to witness the bowl.
Then investigators uncovered an even stranger explanation. The bowl itself may actually be part of the problem. Because cats have highly sensitive whiskers, these whiskers are deeply connected to their nervous system, helping them detect movement, measure spaces, and navigate their environment. But when whiskers repeatedly press against deep bowls, some cats experience sensory discomfort. This is known as whisker fatigue. And suddenly, an absurd behavior starts sounding surprisingly reasonable. The cat may genuinely want the food, while simultaneously hating the physical experience of eating it. To humans, this sounds completely ridiculous. To cats, the bowl has become psychologically unacceptable. And once owners changed the shape of the bowl, many cats immediately started eating normally. Which means, for years, some cats weren't rejecting the food. They were rejecting the architecture surrounding the food. To continue the investigation, Cat Judge conducted a controlled experiment. 3 flavors, 1 suspect, 0 guarantees. The first option was chicken. The suspect approached cautiously, sniffed once, and rejected it immediately. The second option was salmon. This time, the suspect stared at the bowl for several seconds, as if processing unresolved trauma. Before walking away silently. Finally, tuna was presented. A flavor specifically demanded through aggressive screaming only moments earlier. The suspect approached dramatically, sniffed the bowl, and rejected that too. At this point, the investigation and the investigators suffered catastrophic emotional damage. But an important discovery had been made. Cats are extremely sensitive to texture, temperature, smell,
routine, presentation, mood, and apparently, the alignment of the universe itself. Final verdict. After reviewing all available evidence, a clearer picture begins to emerge. Cats scream for food for many different reasons. Sometimes the food smells old. Sometimes they want fresher portions. Sometimes the bowl itself causes discomfort. Sometimes they simply want attention. And sometimes, the screaming was never about food at all. Because cats are exceptionally good at training humans. They study reactions. They learn routines. They identify patterns. And once a behavior produces results, they continue using it. So the strange part isn't that cats manipulate people. The strange part is how incredibly well it works. Humans want logic. Cats reject logic. Humans want consistency. Cats prefer leverage. And maybe that's the real truth behind the food bowl mystery. But while this investigation may be complete, one important mystery still remains. Why do cats suddenly sprint through the house at 3 a.m. as if they're escaping invisible interdimensional entities? Researchers still don't know. Authorities remain confused, and several witnesses are too sleep-deprived to continue speaking. That investigation begins next time.
Thank you.